February edition 2025 of Nutrition Help. In this video, in about 10 minutes, month two, continuing along of our free nutrition help, I'm going to unpack a couple key things. Grocery list, how to best shop for time and efficiency, breakfast, the importance of breakfast, what to do, what not to do, eating when you're sick, some things to consider in terms of like healthy, practical tips for healthy eating, I should say. Understanding food labels, meal planning versus meal prepping, things of that nature, and maybe even the plate method. So let's dive in. Going back, let's unpack first grocery shopping, creating a list. Always recommend that when we go grocery shopping, we write out what we're going to get, and once you understand your particular store, you write it in the way that you're going to shop. So when I go to my local store ShopRite, which is right next to our business, I write the order of sequence, walk in, go to the right, and it's all the fruits and veggies, and even there's goat cheese in this section and pistachios at the end of this section. So I understand this whole section. Then it's into the meat section, staying on the perimeter here. If I need anything from a middle aisle, which ideally we should need the least amount of things, or it's recommended to get the least amount of things from those middle aisles. But things are snuck in there. Oils, like coconut oil, olive oil, maybe some rice if you're stocking up there, or whatever you might need from there. Again, limit the amount of time in there. Go in prepared with your list. You're probably, I'm thinking of the store that I go to, ending in terms of like the eggs in the dairy section, anything in that realm, swoop back around and then self-checkout. And it's efficient. It's time bound. I don't want to spend a lot of time in there. I don't want to get distracted. Keep in mind, stores and things are designed from a marketing place to designed to have us buy more. The way things are colored, the way things are organized at your eye level or below or above, where they are. Why are cookies and chips in this kind of shopping cart area as soon as you enter the entryway before you get into the store, that middle zone? Why are processed, not so great foods right here? They're to get you in that mind. So you have to be your own advocate. And that, I think, is, just a pillar in terms of your health and your nutrition, is continuing to be your advocate for your health and your fitness, because things are going to want to distract you. Things are going to want to pull you in a direction that's not necessarily going to serve you if you get into consuming them majority of the time. Quick pivot here. I brought my friend Fruity Pebbles here to the table. So let's talk about breakfast. When you're a kid, this is cereals and things of this nature are easy for our parents to feed us, and we kind of grow up and we get into this, most of us can get into this system where you eat a cereal for breakfast, then you go to school and you kind of have this lunch that schools provide. And when I look at our fridge and I see what our kids, the school lunches are, they're not good. They are, it's Pizza Friday, it's chicken nuggets. So 2 meals out of their meals design can be in a, what I would deem as like less ideal category. Well, why is Fruity Pebbles or cereals less than ideal? Well, let's unpack it, especially if you're an adult. Okay, so I'm talking to adults here. Understanding the food label here. Let's just cover one serving so we can unpack a cereal, a basic cereal, Fruity Pebbles, which in hindsight, sure, it might be tasty because it's likely loaded with ample sugar. Okay. And it's designed, I read an amazing book, I forget the name of it, but it was about the food industries and all the things that they put into foods to get us to eat more from salt and sugar. I think that's even what it was called, salt and sugar, something in that realm, but I'll get that. But anyway, if we look at this, total fat, 1.5 gram carbs, 31 carbs, 12 of those being sugars, 12 being included added sugars, and then 1 gram of protein. So we're getting no protein here, and we're getting a lot of excess energy. One serving size is 1 cup, and I'll be hard pressed to see anybody eat just 1 cup of Fruity Pebbles. You're probably going towards 2+ because, again, of this nature. So in this meal alone, if you go 2 cups, you're getting 62 grams of carbs. 2 grams of protein, essentially non-existent protein, maybe some from your milk, but my goodness, you're still too low because we're not even hitting the barometer of we want to get 40 to 50 grams of protein per meal. So this is not going to set us up for success, okay? You take something like an adult might work towards, like, okay, protein pancakes. We're still kind of skewing the line of pancakes, trying to include that in, and we're being healthy because it has the word protein in front of it. And I'm not knocking, Kodiak power cakes here, but again, if we unpack, if let's see, one serving size is 1/2 cup. I don't know, shake this out. It says 9 servings per container, makes about 3 4-inch flapjacks. That's the serving size, so I can understand that. If I went deeper, and that feels a little complex to kind of like where or how am I going to get this macro? I don't think we're going to get accuracy based on what we're, putting out on the pan. But let's just say we're going to get 2 servings of this. One serving is 220 calories, which is a lot, and has 2.5 grams of fat. So the fat's relatively low. Awesome. Carbs, 37. That's a lot of energy. And protein is at 15. So even if we doubled that and we went to 30 grams of protein, which is awesome, and we're going over 70 grams of carbs, which is quite a bit for one meal to start our day, we're going into a caloric surplus. We're still not even at the minimum protein we want to consume in a meal. And man, like maybe we're adding, I don't know, butter, syrup, or things to this. So again, breakfast, let's unpack it. Think about breakfast. When you think about mapping out your breakfast, determine your protein sources that are going to get you closer towards 40 to 50 grams. Now, likely that's going to be a combination of things, from maybe some eggs to egg whites to some added ounces of other protein. And that should be our North Star most of the time. Then I want to think about, okay, I want to add a nutrient profile that is likely going to come in fruits and veggies. And those are really unlimited based on a perfect person's preference, because you're not going to get gain weight or get excess fat from fruits or vegetables. Those are nutrient dense profiles that have added fiber, things we need within our body that are going to serve us, and keeping our protein high, our nutrient profile in those, your carb imprint is exceedingly low. And then the fat might be from, say, like some whole eggs, maybe what you cooked it in. That right there is a really well-rounded breakfast. And always finish it. I was going to grab some water. Always finish it off with a big glass of water. So think eat to 80% full, fill the stomach volume, the rest of the stomach volume with some water. I think build a staple around that, and you are kicking the day off with high protein, nutrients, and you're going to feel good energy-wise. You're going to be full for a few more hours versus you eat something and you're either hungry or it sets you down a path of bad decision-making the rest of the day, which is literally not ideal. I wanted to briefly talk about when you're sick. The delay in sharing and recording this video, I was sick. I had planned to do it the first week in February and I got sick. And let's talk about kind of like eating while sick real quick. So if you're like deathly sick or throwing up or nauseous and there's no appetite, severely limit what you're consuming and maybe go towards liquids, broths, things that are going to support you but are easy to get down if you have that sort of appetite. Because the stomach, when we take in food, we draw blood away to digest that, which it's probably the body's working very hard to combat the things that we're going through while we're sick. So that's if you're in that realm of like, man, I'm throwing up, I have diarrhea, I'm nauseous, I don't really want to consume anything, lower that imprint, maybe even going through a little fasting profile, except with the exception of hydration or broths and liquids. If you can, like I just had a sinus, head cold. I think about it like this, and I'm going to make it really simplistic. I think about, my immune system is like this little healthy army. And when I get or feel unwell, I feel like there's invaders coming in. So I think about all the things that I can do to increase my army to combat the invaders, which is going to decrease either the time, the symptoms, or the severity of said cold or whatever I'm experiencing. So in doing that, I ensure that I'm obviously at the baseline level, increasing my hydration at every cornerstone. Things like sleep, making sure rest is of importance. So even if I have to, throttle my bandwidth and my work capacity in terms of my work output, just so I can not overextend my bandwidth, my nervous system, everything is a little compromised. And then when it comes to food, it's every meal, like I'm limiting anything that's going to be inflammatory to even a higher degree, and I'm increasing the nutrient profile already. So everything is fruits and veggies with high protein content. I might even limit coffee, these things that could be more acidic or and kind of challenge the alkaline nature that wants to happen in the body, that helps kind of combat those things. And I think that's important. I think that's an important thing to, especially when you're unwell. We're in winter season here in upstate New York. So I think that can be helpful and keep you healthier. Sorry. And what I noticed is it decreases those symptoms where maybe if I was eating processed foods or inflammatory foods, man, I would just, the symptoms would just last so much longer. All right, we unpacked a lot there in a short period of time. I'm gonna press pause to carry over some of the remaining stuff that we were gonna jump into to March. If you have anything that you want to learn more about in a really simplistic form that can help you with your nutrition, feel free to comment below, and I'll see you guys next month.